What is up, guys? Thanks for listening / watching to another Jaguars United live show. I'm joined here with Joey. And Joey, I think this is history in the making. We started right at 10 o'clock.
Yes, we did.
Can you believe it?
I mean, the Jags stepped up their game, so I figured I'd step up my game and actually get here early so we'd be on time.
Well, we're here starting at 10 o'clock. We always promote starting at 10 o'clock on Monday nights, and here we are on a Monday. So,
do you not ever expect that to happen again?
No, it's probably a one-time thing.
One-time thing.
If you're watching the YouTube channel, thank you so much for being here. If you are listening to the podcast after the fact, make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. We record these podcasts live. We have a good time with all the people in the chat, with all the Jags fans. We're all about the Jags fans getting their voice heard. So you write comments, you write your opinions, everything, and then we talk about it, we say it, and all those things. Had a great show last week. Jags won. We kind of came in riding high. We've been posting some video highlights on the Twitter. That's at Jaguars_United. Make sure to check that out.
Just check it out and share and comment.
Do all that stuff.
All that stuff.
You can get this sweet T-shirt that I have on at our website, jagsunited.com.
I'm just expecting more people to be on the tank for Tampa at this point. You know, tank tops for Tampa. It's going to happen. I'm not breaking the mojo, man. Like, I would wear the same soccer socks for like 8 games in a row if we were winning, and like they would stand up on their own.
Did you do anything the same last week that you did week one? Like as far as viewing or the Jaguars?
No, yes, I did. I'm listening to everything on the radio at this point. Like, I'm not breaking that mold. Like, I had buddies say, hey, come meet me at Dick's Wings. I was like, I'm not doing it. I listened to the first game on the radio. I'm listening to all the games on the radio. I'll watch, like, the footage afterwards, but I'm very superstitious when it comes to sports.
I watched the game at my house, and last week I went to a friendly establishment for the fourth quarter. I didn't do that this week, and we didn't win. So I kind of feel like it's my fault.
It's totally your fault.
But it was a situation outside of my control. Nonetheless, the Jags sit at 1-1. Not horrible. The thing that keeps giving me reservation, and maybe you can like talk me off this, is like every year we seem to start off like decent.
Yeah, we had like 4-1, and then we won 6 games.
Yeah, we start 2-2, 3-1. You know, we usually start well. We start the season well. Is this just another example of us starting the season well, or are we actually different?
No, I will talk you off that ledge very easily, because I went into the season not buying into the Jags, not letting the Jags like trick me again. I even picked them to like win this week in, you know, like a survivor pool type thing. And dude, yeah, we lost. But dude, Titans almost went to the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah.
Titans were the 8th ranked team in the ESPN Power Poll going into that game. The Jags are different. I mean, we were down 14 points. I didn't think they were going to lose. I've never thought that in 10 seasons that we could come back from a 14-point like start. We're down 14 points again at halftime. Still didn't think they were going to lose. Our offense is an actual offense at this point. We've come into, 2016?
Yeah.
I mean, finally?
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, it looks like it. It's a different team. I mean, we might only win 5 or 6 games, but we're going to be in every single game because of Minshew and because we got a lot of good young guys and a lot of speed, a lot of talent. They're just playing hard, man. They're playing because they like football. So, yeah, no, it's a different team.
D2 says hi. What up, D2? Zach Becker says we're out here on time, homies. That's what I'm talking about.
Bam.
We're out here on time. You know, we respect you guys enough to start one show on time.
One.
Christian Peregrine says, Noti gang. I don't know. I'm sure what that means. Antonio McDomick says, great game for the offense. Yeah. I mean, how about freaking Laviska Shenault, dude? Is he like I might buy a Shenault jersey. He's instantly my favorite Jaguar. Instantly.
He's all over the place.
Dude, he runs with such aggressiveness. The way he just like barrels into defenders. I'm like, that's what I love in a football player. There was, Joey and me talked about before the show started, there was a play when Minshew got outside the pocket, scrambled for like 2 or 3 yards and slid. And I couldn't help but think about like, dang, Bortles would have like stuck his head down. And I don't want Minshew to get hurt. Like, I'd rather use slide than get hurt. But man, a guy like Shenault running and like looking for contact on the sideline, I was like, let's freaking go, Laviska.
He's not even looking for it. Like, if he had his helmet off, he would be smiling. He'd
Yeah.
be like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
About to light somebody up.
Laviska, 5 carries, 37 yards. That's 7.4 yards per carry on only 5.
It was like midway through the second quarter, and I think we had like 17 carries for like 90-ish yards between the two of them, between him and Robinson. And I'm like, man, that's like, I'm trying to do the math in my head. That's like 5, 6, 7.5 yards per carry.
Yeah. I'm looking at it now, and I'm just trying to do quick math in my head between his rushes and receiving yards. He had 8 touches, which he averaged about 9.5 yards per touch. So the question is why did he only get 8 touches? If he's averaging 9.5 yards per touch.
Because we have an actual offensive coordinator.
And he doesn't.
And we have like 6 different guys getting touchdowns. We have like
That's true.
everybody touching the ball. People are wide open.
Yeah.
Like wide open for the
Yeah,
first
that was
time.
nice.
And I can remember. I mean, I don't think Jay Gruden's a good head coach. I don't think anybody, for the most part at this point, outside of a select few, can handle like the offensive play calling abilities and head coach. But Jay Gruden is a heck of an offensive coordinator, man.
I didn't anticipate bringing this up so early, but like we're on Jay Gruden, and I want to get some of these comments because we appreciate you guys being here. But I had the thought today, and you guys can tell me what you think. Like, would it surprise you if at the end of this season, like Jay Gruden like got a head coaching job? Like, this is the type of candidate that gets a job.
Yeah,
It's
it does.
a guy who goes to a team that was like flailing historically, turns them around overnight, and then 1 year out the door, head coach somewhere else.
I don't necessarily think he would take that, though. I mean, in Cincy, he was – we didn't pay attention to it because it was Cincinnati. Like, really nobody did. But their offenses were legit for the entire time he was there. He went to Washington, man, and he was not good.
But
I
no
think
one's good in Washington. No one's good.
fair
Steve
enough.
Spurrier wasn't good in Washington. Joe Gibbs wasn't good in Washington. The list goes on and on and on of people that weren't good in Washington.
Fair enough. But I think he is an elite offensive coordinator. I think he's an average head coach.
Okay, that's fair. Brady Bauer says, hell yeah, folks, let's go. Let's go, Brady.
Let's go.
Christian says, hyped for Thursday Night Football. I am too. And did I see they're wearing the teal tops?
Ooh.
Are they wearing all teal? Someone texted me they're wearing all teal, but I can't.
Teal with the white bottoms would be better.
I heard from one source they're teal and black, and then I heard from one source teal on teal. I don't know who to believe. I'm sure y'all do because y'all stay way up more to date.
I can't think of the last time they wore all teal.
I think they did once last year.
Yeah.
Maybe twice, actually. Charlie Boy says our defense looked horrible, but offense is looking awesome. That's true. Especially the first 2 plays, especially Andrew Wingard. Dude, make a play.
Wingard was actually not in bad position.
Yeah, he's in good position, but that's what we always say when we're evaluating defenders and defensive backs when we say they have ball skills. Like, some people can get in good position, and then they have the ball skills on top of that to make a play. C.J. Henderson is a great example of that. Even the touchdown C.J. Henderson gave up to Corey Davis, he made a play on the ball, and a lesser receiver probably would have gotten the ball knocked out of his hands, but Corey Davis is pretty good.
Okay. I would have to agree, except for the fact that Tannehill was elite. That guy was throwing darts.
Dude, Tannehill's not a bad quarterback.
No,
not a bad quarterback.
He was throwing like lasers.
I know. And they were abusing us in that curl flat zone in the middle of the field where the linebacker is supposed to be in coverage.
So, I mean, coverage is what it is. But, I mean, when a quarterback's throwing that well, that on point, and with that much velocity, I mean, that's almost impossible to, like, guard against. So
yeah. And he's making good reads, too.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I'm trying to get to some of these. Jay Gruden is a blessing, says BOEUNK show. I agree. He also says this team is good. Just imagine if Lambeau doesn't mess up that kick before the half.
That shouldn't have been called in the first place, man.
Yeah, I mean, that stuff's all weird, though, because,
Stupid.
I mean, like, yeah, he did cost us 3 points there. But if the game would have been different, the Titans would have probably played it differently. So, I mean.
And he wouldn't miss that extra point if he wasn't thinking about that stupid power kick. I mean, don't even get me started on that, man. Why the heck do you call that with 10 seconds left in the game? Dude, kick it as far as you can. They're going to kneel it. They're not going to take a chance at that point.
Yeah.
Dumb play calling.
Mismanagement, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Antonio McDomick says y'all's voices should switch bodies. I don't think I've ever heard that before from us, Joey.
So, like, I have a deep, manly voice, and Jason's got all the muscles? Is that what you're saying?
Most people really commend you on your voice. They say it's very soothing. That's, like, the most common thing I get about your voice. That and they say you sound like H. John Benjamin.
I don't know who that is, but I'll take that as a compliment.
Archer.
I love Archer.
That guy, H. John Benjamin, has a van. I don't know if you ever saw that show or whatever.
Nice. Archer's one of my favorites. Well, I am in sales, so, my cadence.
Yeah.
Got some training.
You do have some good cadence,
Possibly.
Joey. That's why you're the best podcaster of all time. If y'all didn't know that, that's why Joey has that.
Jason does all the work. I just sit here and get the accolades.
Christian says, legit, the best offense I've seen in a long-ass time. I see that for sure. Antonio says the game was a win for me compared to how I thought we were going to perform during the offseason.
Yeah.
That's true. Chenault is a beast, says Boeunk.
Yeah.
Nate says, remember they play the Dolphins next week without Byron Jones, starting Nick Newham at corner and 3 rookie linemen. Can't talk
You
tonight.
talking about the Dolphins or us?
The Dolphins. The Dolphins. You know,
I don't know
Joey
half the
and
names
me,
at this point.
we talked about this earlier, like the injury bug, we might have gotten that little Passover nod because I don't want to jinx it, but like every other team in the league is like dealing with some serious stuff right now. And
look at the 49ers.
oh my God.
I mean, you got like 4 knees and an ankle.
We deserve that though, because that literally has been us the last like 5 years,
like,
dude.
The first game every season, like the best player goes out for the year.
That's why I'm not afraid to like jinx or reverse jinx or whatever anyone was going to say, because if that were in play, then karma would also have to be in play, and we've been the most injured team of all time, so we're owed this year.
We're
so
due.
I have no issues with that
like
at
Linder
all.
goes out, looks like he's out for the year. And
Yeah,
it's
day
minor.
to day.
It's minor.
I love it. Christian's good. What the naughty gang means is I have the notifications on. I didn't know that, Christian. That makes a lot of sense. Thank you for being in the notifications gang or the Noti gang.
So that means like when we start.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Everyone should get notifications. You know, shout out to Christian.
Hey, Christian, post in comments like how you actually accomplish that, because we do have some listeners that are a little bit older and are probably like, I just push the button, man. I have no idea what's going on.
Zach Becker says, I'm going to the game on Thursday, and I think if Gardner throws for another 3 touchdowns, I have to get 15 tatted on my arm.
Ooh. Was that like a bet you made?
I would assume that Zach Becker probably has a bunch of tats already if he's willing to just throw that out there. Joe, you have some tattoos.
I have a few.
Would you ever consider getting any type of football thing tattooed on you?
No. At this point, if I would have, it would be like a gator tattoo of some sort. But no, I would not do that. Especially not a second-year, 6th-round draft pick, Gardner Minshew. And if it was, it'd be like the stash or like the headband on something maybe, not the number. What if he changes numbers, man? I mean, I don't know.
I mean, he would also be wearing Tebow's number, and I know that you're also a
Oh,
Tebow fan,
yeah.
so now you have a double entente there.
Yeah.
If that's the right word. I
Maybe
slept
like
a lot in
15
English.
and, I don't know.
Moon Illusions. What
It
up,
is
Moon?
a Tandre, I think.
I just
All right.
I throw stuff
You're
out there.
close.
This is what we do around here. We just throw words out there and just hope no one notices.
It was close.
Moon Illusion says Gardner Minshew is an angel. Yes, he is.
Moon was taken off aback by our 10 o'clock start time.
He
That
was.
the first
Moon
round.
is used to us starting at like
Yeah,
10:45.
he's like, whoa, what happened?
He's like, what is going? Yeah. Nate says no Devontae Parker either. I like Devontae Parker too. That's sad to see.
Yeah, I agree. He's a good player.
Christian says also teal on Thursday. We hope.
What?
Teal on Thursday? Question mark?
No.
We hope. Brent Papineau. Who is Chenault like in this offense? Kareem Hunt, Emmanuel Sanders, early. Emmanuel Sanders. Don't get me started. I need 1 point.
Oh, God.
I need 1 point from Emmanuel Sanders tonight. Drops a screen pass
Brent.
on the opening drive.
Brent, I've heard nothing but Emmanuel Sanders for the past 45 minutes, man. He's nothing like Emmanuel Sanders. Way better. Or we had a catch already.
Yes, combo wide receiver running back. I mean, why not be like a Christian McCaffrey? Why couldn't he be a Christian McCaffrey? I mean, he's not as shifty and fast, but he runs through you, so he gets the same result.
Dude, we can actually run a reverse now as part of our actual offense, and it works.
I know.
Like, it's not like this like trick play, gimmick play you pull out like to try to get something. It works.
I love seeing Chenault in the backfield. I just get so happy. I had more emotions this game than I've had in a long time.
Dude, the Jags, they're fun to watch.
Yeah, they were so fun.
They're fun again.
I was up, I was down, I was out, I was in.
We have an offense that's like in modern day.
Yeah.
Like it actually is how you're supposed to play the game now. Yeah, our defense sucks. So what? I said it before the season started. I was like, the best case scenario this year is that we lose every game like 35-32. And that's pretty much what happened last week. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
And we're not going to lose every game because we're better than that at this point. Like, I legitimately think we have a chance to win every game because of how good our offense is.
You hope so.
We've got a shot, which I've never been able to say that ever.
I love it. Antonio McDormick, says the plan is for Gruden to take over coaching next season.
I thought that, man. I don't think that anymore. I think he's too good of an OC. I think like he's got to see that. Dude, pay him like head coaching money for an OC position.
It happens.
I mean, do that. Be like, listen, I know you want a head coaching job. How much? What's your number?
It's a prestige thing, though. It's a status
Dude,
thing.
who cares, man? It's about the money.
And those guys are competitive. They're hyper competitive.
Oh yeah, take another job and like suck as head coach, and then like maybe not get another chance again.
Those guys, they take that risk, man. Kev B, I think he agrees with you. He says Gruden would be dumb to leave Jacksonville for probably a terrible team needing a head coach because Jacksonville has a lot of good rookies, lots of picks, and a lot of cap space.
Yeah, and all we have to do is fix our defense, which is not that hard to do with some good, a lot of draft picks.
I posted this on our Twitter during the game, and I was tweeting some things during the game that, I can't now take credit for because in the moment I was all emotional and not thinking straight. But one of the things I did tweet was the amount of players that the Titans pay over $6 million a year. They paid 12 people over $6 million a year. The Jags pay 5 people over $6 million a year. So more than double they invest in that. I mean, obviously $6 million is an arbitrary amount that I chose for this point, but it's still valid. And in saying that, like, they invested in their team. They have money tied up in their team. 2021 Jags, 2022 Jags could have money. I mean, like, they could have money tied up in players. Like, they could go out getting free agents. I mean, the Titans went out and got Clowney.
Well, think about that. That was the point I was going to make. I'm glad you brought that up. If we'd gone out and got Clowney, we probably win that game.
Clowney honestly was a non-factor in my opinion.
Well, he was until the end.
I don't think he played great. I think our offensive line I thought Juwan Taylor did a great job keeping him in check.
Okay, well, he was offsides in that one play when he was lining up. And that was a decisive play. If he was on our team, that doesn't happen.
Yeah. UCF Jaguar. What's up, UCF? He says, let's get the W on Thursday. Yeah, I mean, I hope so. I'm really sad I can't go. I have to work until kind of late, which is okay. But, man, I've been hearing stories about these games being at 25% capacity and them just being, like, absolutely amazing.
Yeah, everybody that went the first game said that it was the best Jags experience ever.
Yeah, no lines. No smelly drunk people.
Yeah.
It's probably great.
Go to the bathroom. I'm just going to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
I'm not waiting.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, we have to win Thursday, and we have to beat Cincy next week. Would anybody disagree with that?
I think most people would say that we're going to.
I mean, we're favored at this point on Thursday, which is kind of crazy.
Moon Illusions, thoughts on upcoming Dolphins game? Well, I think we're going to win. I predicted a score on the Relevant app, which if you don't have the Relevant app, I just found this out today. It's Relevant without an A at the end, so RELEVNT. It's an app.
Very edgy.
Yeah, very edgy. And I've actually created a Jaguars United channel. So if you download the app, there is a Jaguars United channel that we can all chat in. So if you want to do it. I'll be on there. It seems like it could be fun. It could fizzle out after like a week, but
you give like a way better explanation to me before we get started. Like, what exactly is the Relevant app?
It's like a chat app.
Is that what for Jaguars games?
Well, for any Jaguars fans, for anyone that joins the chat, they could talk. I mean, I don't know. I mean, 1010XL has one that's a local radio station here. I've noticed like Big Cat Country has one that's kind of not very popular, but like we have one. That's all I'll say about that.
Fair enough.
Because we have one. Sorry, I'm behind on the comments. We'll try to keep up. It's literally our problem every week. We need a producer. That can
Once again, we've got no emails. Anybody willing to intern as a producer for this? So that's on y'all. Yeah, that's on you.
Hey, look, I write great recommendation letters. I do it all the time.
Hey, I can make some.
Oh
stuff
my
up.
Gosh, man!
I'll answer my phone and I will back it up. You'll get that job.
Yeah, I agree. All right, let's just jump in here on the comments again. If we miss it and it's a good comment, just type it again. Christian Paraguayan says, "What do you guys think about James Robinson?"
I mean, what can you?
I mean,
like, how did nobody draft that guy?
I love that his nickname's Spinna. I love that, and I probably sound really nerdy saying it, but like,
is that like his rapper name?
Little Spinna. That's what it sounds like. But Little Spinna can call himself whatever he wants if he's going to rush for 16 carries, 102 yards.
I mean, I guess the guy ran a 4.6 at the combine, so like nobody picked him up because all they care about speed. You put pads on, he's probably running a 4.5.
Yeah.
I mean, the way he looks. I mean, dude, the guy like just hits holes. He runs through arm tackles. He's got the jump cut, which I love. I mean, we haven't seen that since like Fred Taylor, maybe. Like
smooth.
Not as good as Fred Taylor, but he's got that jump cut, which is like, man, I love that.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, how's this guy not? I don't see how the Jags have him. Like, I'm almost like, what's going to happen? Is he like got like bodies in his closet or something? He's going to jail. I mean, like, there's got to be like some kind of like catch-22.
Like James Robinson gets popped for HGH. Like, oh,
it's something,
okay,
man. Like, I almost don't want to like jump on the
sense.
train because like, how do we have this guy undrafted with how good he is?
Hey, Caldwell, they don't call him Diamond Dave for nothing.
Dude, you're going to the Caldwell
They
card?
don't call him Diamond Dave for nothing. That's
he's got
all
bodies
I'm
in his
gonna
closet,
say.
guys. That's the only explanation.
Nate says Doug Marrone is inspirational to the young guys and shows fight for this team. No way a lame duck coach. Okay.
I agree. Doug Marrone.
I like Doug Marrone. I like Doug Marrone, but, man, yeah. I mean, hey, Minshew could save his job. Moon Illusion says Marrone stock is rising in Khan's eyes.
I don't think it was ever dropped in Khan's eyes or he wouldn't still be here.
That squib kick call, though.
Is that Marrone? Or is
yeah.
that
no.
Gruden?
No, that's special teams call. That was Marrone.
Okay.
Maybe the special teams coordinator was like, hey, Doug, what do you think about squibbing it here? And Marrone's probably like, thumbs up.
Because that's not a normal thing, like the power kick. Like,
no, it is. If the ball would have gotten past that first line, it would have been a
horrible
great play.
kick by Lambeau.
Yeah, well, I think he slipped.
Who does that, though, man? Like, how many times has Lambeau kicked that kick? He isn't as a Jag ever.
I think the squib kick is fairly popular, but it has to be executed correctly, and I think Lambeau just didn't execute it.
He didn't.
But
why would you call that there?
Because you guarantee the clock running out and them not getting a single snap.
Would you agree with that play call there?
I wouldn't.
Okay.
Which is why I blame Marrone.
All right.
Antonio. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, he also went for it on 4th and 1. And like,
I'm cool with that.
Well, okay. Well, that's the same kind of like ballsy call, though.
No.
No?
No.
All right.
The squib kick's just like cheese.
Okay.
A 4th and 1 is like, we got this.
Well,
it's confidence.
Okay. All right.
I'm not for cheese.
All right. Back to the comments.
Yeah,
I'm going to
sorry. McDomick, one really good defensive tackle will change our whole defense. Yeah. Jernigan had good moments. He had good moments. Gotsis had a good moment. Tackle for loss, pretty good one on Derrick Henry. But yeah, I mean, solid depth at that position, but not like a one true guy that's disruptive. Taven. He is what he is. I mean,
Taven actually got accolades from like everybody.
Yeah, but that's literally Taven's MO, dude. Taven played better than he seemed. Okay, I've heard that for 3 years. So,
well, you know what?
At some point,
we held Derrick Henry under 100 yards for the first time in my lifetime.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But at what cost?
Okay,
I mean, Tannehill went 18 for 24.
Well, that's the whole thing, man. You shut Henry down, let Tannehill beat you, and he did. But
Yeah.
that's not going to happen every time.
Yeah.
I'd rather that than Derrick Henry beat us.
That's
again.
fair. And I think you're right there. Nate Clowney, great run defender, but really average pass rusher. Yeah, he's kind of old and slow now. Yeah. How you guys feeling about those few bad calls and non-calls the refs made?
I mean, that pass interference on Jack was absolute crizap.
Yeah.
I mean, that was garbage, and that was kind of. I mean, it was a major turn of momentum at that point. I mean, that was bad, but.
I'll say what everyone says, every professional says. If you leave the game up to the refs, there's the chance they're going to screw you.
It should never come down to one play.
That's it is what it is. I mean, you don't want it, and it does happen because the NFL is very competitive, and both teams are out there trying to win. So there will be games that does come down to the wire. But if you do play a game that comes down to the wire, there is the probability that the refs will screw you.
And it can go both ways.
It can go both ways. We've seen it happen
and when
a bunch.
It goes our way, everybody's like, hey, that's awesome.
It doesn't seem to go our way very much, but it does. All right, I'm going to skip down on the comments again. If you had a good comment, make sure that you just type it again. Just copy-paste it. If you're listening to the podcast later, you've got to check out our YouTube live shows that we do on Monday nights. We post our podcast to the Big Cat Country feed. There's a couple of different podcasts that post there. So we're happy that we're on that.
Well, there's
feed.
us, and then there's a couple others.
Yeah, and there's a couple other podcasts that like are kind of being kind of cheesy and like re-uploading them after everyone else uploads them, so that theirs is the first one. And it's a little sus. I'm not going to call anybody out yet, but I may soon.
You should right now.
Maybe later in the show after a few more of these breaks. Then I may. All right, let's see what we got here. Alternate, jumping into this conversation halfway through, says the Pats are overrated. Okay.
I don't think they were rated at all this year.
Their quarterback is winning games on like $1 million salary.
And I've got a great trivia question before the break based on their quarterback. So that's a fantastic segue to that. So we'll get to that later.
Okay. All right. Awesome. We'll take a break in like maybe 10 minutes.
Yeah, that works.
Nate says, Gerard is so underrated. Gerard Wilson, really solid coverage player. It would not have allowed some of those Tanny touchdowns.
Him being out.
Oh, underrated. I'm sorry. He said Gerard is underrated.
Yeah, underrated.
Yeah,
Him being out was huge.
Yeah, I like Gerard Wilson.
And he's what, 4 games at least?
Yeah, I mean he's IR, so I think
that was one. So we got 2 more, and then that hurts, and that kind of goes back to us being like thin at every defensive position, man. I mean it's just gonna happen. That we're obviously offensive team is now.
I mean, if Ronnie Harrison's back there, do we give up?
No.
What's up with Taven Bryan covering Jonnu Smith on that last? I don't understand. Todd Wash, like, I'm the last one to blame coaches, but I mean, gosh, Todd Wash.
Dude,
what are you
he
doing?
He doesn't
dude?
have much to work with, though, man.
Yeah, but you don't drop Taven Bryan into coverage covering the tight end.
Taven Bryan is a physical specimen,
Yeah,
Jason,
that's what he is.
with upside
Physical
potential.
but a lot of upside.
He's a freaking nature.
Lot
He's a
upside.
freaking nature in the weight
Project
room.
player. Huge project player.
Dude, you're his biggest fan. So
I
you
can't wait
jump
till
on
he
that
comes to
bandwagon.
fruition.
Yeah.
Nate says Hayden is a liability. Get him the hell off the field.
He's one of our best defensive players.
He's played bad the last 2 games. He played really good last year. It's like you gotta, do you give him more time or do you give up on him? That's the big
you can't
question.
give up on him because he doesn't have any help. He's being exposed because there's nothing around him. Our secondary is garbage.
Well, I don't know. I mean, he's
Our
losing
linebackers-
guys in man coverage,
Dude.
and that's what you can't do if you're a nickel corner. You cannot lose guys in man coverage. That's just like rule number 1.
He shouldn't be in man coverage.
Well, it happens sometimes. Christian says for who? Josiah Scott. I like Josiah Scott, but we'll
Don't
see.
know who he is, so I'll go with Jason on that one.
Bert DeFish says we should trade for Desmond King. I'd be surprised if we make any trades this year.
So we're not.
Yeah.
Especially on defense.
Yeah, I mean, I really think they're identifying.
How could they not be okay with the
2021.
decisions at this point? I mean, right?
Not okay with what?
I mean, how could they not be okay with the decisions they've already made?
Well, they're 1-1, and yeah, I mean, I guess you're right. I mean, if they wanted to make a run, they would make a trade, but I think
Well,
they're
they know that's
not
not happening.
Yeah. Moodle says that wasn't designed by Wash. I probably missed the comments there. What do you guys think from Antonio? Who do you guys think will win in a fight out of everyone in our offense? I like this
Ooh,
question.
That was a great question.
That's a good question.
I think we should answer that after the break because I like to think about that.
Give me
for
some
a
time to think, and we'll hit that question.
Because I'm
at
in
the
my
break.
first. Yeah, I want some time on that.
I'm thinking offensive lineman right off the rip, but
No.
we'll see. Who's that fullback that dropped that pass? God,
The guy was in jail for like 2 years.
like Bruce Miller or whatever.
Yeah,
his name is.
that guy was nasty.
Brent Papano, best things for us next year is the salary cap is lowered so much that we will be the best place for free agency. Young and upcoming team with the most money to spend could be a huge draw.
There's gonna be a lot of teams in trouble next year.
You're right. There's going to be a lot of teams in trouble. And you got to think a lot of these owners are going to be trying to recoup some of the money they lost from this season by not having fans, and they're going to kind of compensate that on the salary cap.
Yeah.
So,
Like if you're a team making a run this year that doesn't win, or even maybe wins, like your team's gonna look a lot different next year.
Mm-hmm.
You can't afford for it not to be. So that's a great question.
yeah. Bert says you're spitting facts about Hayden. Hope so. Joanna Burke says, I wish. Oh, message retracted right when I started reading it. Come on,
Ooh.
Joanna. Maybe it was a typo or something. Zach Becker. Joe Schobert was driving me insane.
Dude, Shepard's one of our best players.
No, he was driving me crazy.
Dude, he played
He was
really
so
well.
bad.
No, he was not.
Bro, here's what drives me crazy. Is he's supposed to be the coverage guy. He's the coverage linebacker. He's great, the best pass defending linebacker. Can't cover a cold, apparently.
But he wasn't called to defend the pass.
I mean, that's what
He's
known
the
for.
biggest point of us defending the run this year.
But he didn't really do
He
that.
gets everybody
either.
lined up.
He got like
Miles
shook
Jackson
out of his
no,
shoes
dude,
by
no.
like
I
Derrick
completely
Henry.
disagree with that. His job is to get everybody in position, communicate, and stop the run. Is what he's doing right now. Occasionally, he breaks up a pass. He's done phenomenal.
He says there's lazy coverage in the middle of curl zones on third down.
He's
And
old and slow
He's not old. He's like 26 or 27.
with coming off of like a major injury.
No, he was good. He's a good player.
You
we
just said he was
definitely
garbage. Now you're saying he's good, Jason. What is it? Is he garbage or
He's
is he
a good player, but he was making me mad because he's known for
Because our defense is garbage,
But-
man.
but
He can't
we're-
cover for that much
They
garbage.
were garbage. Okay, there were some plays where the pressure probably could have helped the coverage, but
What pressure?
exactly. But there were some plays where Schobert legit was like lost out
Dude,
there.
he can't drop back. All right. We got zero pass rush at all in 2 games.
That's true.
Allen hasn't showed up in 2 games.
Well, I mean, Allen's been the
Some
only
d-
player.
A little bit of double.
Yeah. I mean, he's gotten some pressure and got a
little
sack
bit.
here and there. Chazon had a sack.
Okay, but
they didn't blitz very much. That's for sure. Like
That's for sure.
They played 4 down linemen, 4 guys going to the quarterback. I was yelling at the TV for them to blitz, and they finally blitzed, and Chazon got a sack, and I was like, "What the heck are we doing?"
all right, so my question is then, how does a linebacker defend against the pass when we have no pass rush?
Well, I mean, you would want a linebacker that you're paying $50 million to be able to drop into the curl zone in the middle of the field and defend a tight end. And he, like, not one time was able to, like, make a play on these routes that Tannehill was abusing us on, these short curl routes that we just couldn't stop. And we were just dropping into zone back, and then Tannehill was just letting the defenders drop and just dumping it
So you
underneath.
think stopping Derrick Henry had nothing to do with that. That was obviously their number one.
Yeah, I mean,
I think if you looked at their defensive plan, it was stop Derrick Henry, stop Derrick Henry, stop Derrick Henry, and whatever else happens.
Yeah, but we came on here and we talked about how the play action was going to destroy the Jags if they weren't careful. And they came out on the first play of the game, ran a play action, and got like 50 yards to Jonnu Smith on the first play.
I actually have that guy on my fantasy team. I had no idea who he was, and I looked down. I was like, 24 points. Who the hell is this guy? What position does he play? I was like, oh, tight end against the Jags.
I literally picked him up like last minute.
So
and, it worked out well.
I get it, but I think our defense is so thin and weak that they can't choose multiple things. It's like we got to pick something. That's what we're doing this week, and I think he's been pretty good overall. Yeah, and he's allowed Miles Jack to go outside, which has been huge.
Yeah, I mean, Jack's been better out there, 100%. I mean, I'm honestly way better now I think about it. Kev B says, in regards to who would win in a fight on the offense, says Minshew would do a flying elbow drop from the top ring on everyone.
Would it be that, or would it be like the crane kick from like Karate Kid? Like, he's been watching Cobra Kai, and he's like, dude, I got this.
Antonio Rivera says Jets are tanking for Trevor. Joanna Burke says it was a spelling typo. I got you, Joanna. For sure. But then she goes on to say, or he, I'm not identifying anyone, says, I wish we still had Campbell. Think he would have gotten the quarterback or enabled others to get to the quarterback.
I think everybody agrees.
I think everyone wants Campbell back, but there was a part of me that saw Campbell's Twitter post where he's like, we're 2-0, let's do this. And you're like, you deserve that. He deserves to.
He does. He needs to go out. I mean, he's only got so many like snaps left.
Yeah. He needs to just go win a Super Bowl, retire, come back, live in Jacksonville, be the mayor.
I agree.
Be the next Tony Baselli around here.
I agree. He'd be great on like radio.
Oh my god!
Talk about a voice.
Oh
man.
yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna scroll down here again. Brent Papineau in the offense Royal Rumble. Minshew may not win, but will be scrappy third or fourth place.
Dude, Minshew would like be rallying guys to fight for him. Like that's what Minshew would be doing.
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning. I think I have my answer now.
Is it Chenault?
No, it's not Chenault. And I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna save it for after the break.
You can't pick somebody on the offensive line though. That's weak.
I am.
That's weak.
Yeah, I know. Kev B said Schobert's up and down, but very down when he's bumbling around in coverage. Good uptick for a run linebacker, though. Not great.
Okay, I'm going to stop this right now. Schobert was one of...
He was not good.
I didn't say he was good. I didn't say he was good.
He got abused almost as bad as Wingard.
Dude, our defense is garbage. We have a few highlights on our defense that are like well above average.
I don't think our defense is garbage. I think our defense is young.
Our defense is garbage.
I think our defense is young.
Okay, they're young and they're garbage.
They're young.
Outside of young. Schobert has like solidified the middle linebacker position good enough. We're not getting okay. Have we had a 300-yard rushing game against us yet? How many games did we have last year like that without him?
Yeah, but when you're paying only 5 guys over $6 million,
I don't care how much we're paying him.
One of them, you want him to be a top 5 player on your team, and he's like probably.
I think he's the top 5 player on the defense.
There's only 11 starters, and I honestly could probably argue that he's not.
Dude, we're so better.
I mean, and he may, but remember, like, the Browns who loved him were like, we cannot match this contract.
I don't even
there's
like him.
There's absolutely no way he's warranting this
had
much money.
To replace the middle linebacker position.
That's fine.
And we did the best we could with somebody who's experienced on a young team. And he's obviously doing something at practice, in the locker room, organizational-wise, reading offense-wise, something that's made us better than we would have been. So I don't care about the money. Yeah, he's not an elite middle linebacker. I mean,
that's for sure.
But I
care about the money.
He's better than it was last year.
That's true. Nate says give the defense some time for him to gel. A lot of guys got replaced and need to learn to play together.
Yeah, that's true. We ain't gelling.
Give them some time.
Unless they got some like Dr. Scholl's.
They're young.
Cleats.
They're young.
Oh, yeah, next year.
Max Hardwick-Brown says that play where Taven dropped into coverage against a tight end seemed like a broken play by the D. Henry was completely wide open in the flat. That's true. I do remember seeing that. Henry was wide open. He could have just dropped it off to Henry, and he could have walked in. So, yeah, bad play. In that situation, you don't want to have a broken play when the game's on the line, but I guess it happens. Nate says Cam Robinson, after everyone bailed on him, has been freaking great.
I don't think anybody bailed on him. Everybody said he did not.
I think people bailed on him. I agree with you, Nate. I think you're right. People were quick to turn on Cam Robinson.
They turned on him, and the MO last year was that he was coming back from a knee injury, and that's why he was playing bad. And this year was his show year of whether he was actually a good left tackle or it was the injury. He's a good left tackle.
We had Penei Sewell pretty much all but drafted here in the offseason as our left tackle.
Don't think so.
Joanna Burke. Oh, I hope he does win the Super Bowl. He is so great. Man, Joanna, I like that you like Campbell. I do too. I'm a huge Campbell fan.
Yeah. I mean, how can you not be?
Yeah, that's
I
true.
don't think anybody's not. The guy's awesome.
Zach Becker, I'd take Dede. Oh, gosh. Dede Westbrook, because he'd sit out of the fight until the last guy's left.
That's pretty funny.
I didn't know where you were going with that, but I like that.
That
Zach.
turned out well.
I like that. Moon Illusions, it's not garbage. Rundy is solid, and Henderson Jones are solid. Okay. I agree. Moon, I'm with you, Moon. Antonio, our linebackers were the only group really good on our defense this week.
Yeah.
They were good against the run, but I think they were pretty poor against the pass. I mean,
no pass rush.
Yeah, but I mean, that's a slippery slope.
But what?
It's a slippery slope.
Oh,
You start blaming the pass rush for bad coverage. I'm just saying, like you can, but
Tannehill had like 7 Mississippis on every play. Somebody's going to get freaking open.
blitz. Why weren't we blitzing? Why were we playing this like flag football defense every?
Because we have no secondary whatsoever.
Okay, so maybe whatever. Astro Surf says it's a nice change to have a quarterback to have you in position to win at the end of games.
Absolutely.
I think that's the most exciting thing
Dude,
about this team.
He's efficient. He gets the ball off quickly. He's accurate. He rallies the people around him. He's a captain, man. Second year in the league. I agree. Awesome.
I was banging the Minshew drum all offseason.
Who wasn't, dude?
There's a lot of people that weren't and that were like, oh, I screenshotted so many tweets of prominent people
Okay.
that were like, oh, Minshew really isn't that good. He's all garbage time. He couldn't do it early. He's late. And I was like, okay, well, we'll see about that. Glad to see they're proven wrong.
He still isn't proving he can do it early, though. The slow starts are still a concern.
No, it was like 21-7 in the second quarter, and he led a drive down and scored, make it 14-21. I mean, he literally answered.
Early.
He never got more than 14 points behind, answered every single drive with a touchdown, and then had a chance to win it at the end of the game.
So you think he comes out leading the team hot from the start the past 2 games?
I don't think he came out leading the. I mean, in the first game he did. I mean, he only had 1 incompletion, so he was hot the entire game.
He was super slow and weak.
Game 2, we had a drop pass by the fullback.
Dude, he was floating balls,
Why
man.
are we throwing it to the fullback in the first place? We had a couple of bad spacing routes where the receivers were like too close together, so people were like trying to catch the ball that the ball wasn't intended to get to. He might have had a couple missed throws where he floated the ball, but the dude was no worse. I mean, you got guys out there like Sam Darnold who are out there horrible. You have freaking Jeff Driscoll out there playing. Minshew is way better than these guys.
All right, I knew that'd fire you up, so that's why I said that.
Sorry. Jags for Life 307 says, do y'all like Wingard? Personally, I thought he played well. Just the 2 touchdowns on him were great efforts by Tannehill and the receivers.
I'll take this one because I commented on it before we started talking. I think Wingard is playing – he's way out of his league, but that's not his fault. That's all we got. I think his coverage was like really good on those first couple of plays. I went back and watched the tape. I mean, he was there. Tannehill was throwing lasers, man. I mean –
He was.
I don't know, like, he could have done more. He could have been more in position. He could have put his hands up on that second one. But I don't know if somebody better would have stopped that either way because Tannehill put it in, like, a spot that nobody could, like, touch it. I mean, it was just...
I mean, Eifert had a similar catch in the end zone in the first quarter that Minshew put on a laser that only Eifert could
Only
get to
he could catch it. So I don't know, man. I mean, that's a tough call because Tannehill played really well.
Antonio McDomick says Minshew losing 20 yards instead of throwing the ball away is what lost us the game for me.
That was a bad sack.
We would have taken the lead.
That was a bad sack.
Yeah, but here's what I said about that in the moment is Minshew is an improvisational quarterback. He makes plays, and more importantly, he wins games because of his ability to extend plays. We saw it in Denver last year especially.
So you got to take the good with the bad, is what you're saying.
You got to. I mean, that's gonna happen with a guy like that.
And I'm fine with that.
Yeah, me too. And like, you want him to be like perfect, where he improvs when he can and he throws it away when he can't. But the reality is if that's your style and that's kind of your MO, you're gonna have plays like that. Like, it's just you're going to.
Kind of reminds me of watching Brett Favre. Like, not the same quarterback, but like Brett Favre's going to like win games for you, but then he's going to like run and do some shovel pass like crap that's an intercepted for a pick six, and you're like, what the heck? But do you want Brett Favre on your team? Heck yeah.
Absolutely. Zach Becker says, sold my Nick Foles jersey, and as I'm selling it, the guy tells me he's wearing it for a car dealership commercial. Saw the commercial and felt like trash hooking up the guy with that of all jerseys.
First of all, like, we need more info on what the commercial was about. Second of all, how much did you get for the jersey?
Yes. Both questions.
Those are valid.
I need answered from you, Zach.
Because that's a great post.
Yeah. I get that you feel bad, and you should feel bad, okay?
Well, I want to know how bad, though.
Yeah.
If you got like $100, man, don't feel bad at all.
Bad or $10 bad, or how bad? Nate says, I agree. Really should have a quality free safety backup with how important it is. Yeah. I mean, our safety position's pretty thin. I have no faith in our safety position at all. I like our depth almost everywhere besides secondary, which I like our starters when they're healthy, but yeah, no depth. I know people like Josh Jones, and I'm willing to like him, but I'm not sold on him yet. I mean, he seems to be in the right position a lot, and he has a nose for the football, which I'm a big fan of, that type of player, but nothing has really stood out to me as like, okay, this guy's the guy.
He played against the Titans, right? Okay, because like the first game, he was all over the place. I didn't hear his name at all against the Titans. So, I mean, that's kind of what it is with a young, like, unproven player. I mean, you're going to get ups and downs.
Zach Becker said, I got $30. I couldn't believe it, and it was Gary Yeoman's Ford commercial.
Right. So we'll have to look that up then. You don't want to like sell somebody out that gave you $30.
There's a lot of people that are like huge Foles fans. Like, I still know people that like love Nick Foles.
I mean, he's a good guy.
Yeah, I mean, people really love his character. People that are into the character of the athletes really liked Nick Foles.
I wanted him to do well here. He did not.
I could take him.
I got another question though, man. Like, how did you even have the opportunity to sell a jersey for a car commercial? Like, this is the most interesting story.
You got a hook up there, Zach, that we need to know about. All right, well, I feel like this is a good time for a break. We're actually past our break time, so we're going to have to throw in a random commercial on the podcast. We apologize for that. But you know what? Just get through it, you know? We're going to put another ad in here on the podcast. If you're watching the live show, we're going to take a 2-minute break. We appreciate you guys being in the comments, watching and talking with us live. We love talking to you guys about the game. It's like the best part. Like when I'm watching the game, I'm like, I cannot wait to like talk with other Jags fans about the game. So this is the best part of the week for me. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. We're going to take a quick break as I knock over my microphone.
While he fixes that, I do have my trivia question back from the break. Because Jason obviously forgot that tease earlier, but you know, I'll let him have that. So, how many starting quarterbacks this past week were paid more money? I'm sorry, how many non-starting quarterbacks this past week were paid more money than Cam Newton? That's it. Pretty simple, right?
How many non-starting quarterbacks were paid more than Cam Newton?
Yes. It's shocking.
I will guess.
Well, it's after the break.
Oh, all right. We're going to take a break, and then we'll guess when we come back.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Give us a minute, and we'll be right back. All right, and welcome back. Thank you guys so much that have been hanging out in the chat. We appreciate you guys being here. If you haven't yet followed us on Twitter, we are at Jaguars_United. Instagram, Jaguars United _. I've actually stepped up my Instagram game, Joey.
Like more than before?
I am posting at least once a week. So I'm trying to get there. Follow us on Instagram. We'll get that going. Follow us on YouTube. Subscribe so you get a notification when we go live. We do random shows all throughout the week. Make sure you go to the website, jagsunited.com. Now that we got that all out of the way, Joey, pose us the question one more time on the break. Brent Papino says smash the like. Smash it. Smash that like button.
Yeah, smash the sub on like YouTube. Like
Yeah.
that's what we want
we
as
wanna
much
see.
as anything.
Yeah.
So
all right, so tell us, Joey, the question one more time.
the question was, how many non-starting quarterbacks are paid more than Cam Newton?
I'm going to guess 5. And I know that's not a lot. I mean, never mind. That's a horrible guess. Cam Newton's getting $1 million. Okay. Non-starters. Yeah, I'm going to say 5. I'm going to stick with 5.
That's a horrible guess, Jason.
All right, sorry. How many is it?
Any in the comments, like before I say
We
anything?
have 13. We have 11.
Somebody's been doing some Googling.
Brent Papino says 6.
6 is horrible. So, I mean, it's hard to tell because I think maybe a couple of these guys started this week due to injuries, but it's 12 from the best of my capabilities. And listen to some of these names. Andy Dalton, Blaine Gabbert, Brett Hundley. I don't even know who that guy is.
Yeah.
Colt McCoy, Jeff Driscoll, which I think he started this week.
Yeah, he did.
Okay. Chase Daniel.
Yeah, from Missouri.
Marcus Mariota, not starting. AJ McCarron, not starting. Chad Henne, not starting.
Chad Henne does not get paid more than I cannot believe
Matt
that.
Schaub, not starting. Matt Barkley and Nathan Peterman, who was, I think, the worst I know he's from here, worst quarterback in the league last year.
I think half those quarterbacks are like not on rosters.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, if
Chad
they're
Henne, is Chad Henne on a roster?
he's the backup at Baltimore, isn't he? Or KC?
I don't think
He's
Chad
the backup,
Henne's on a roster.
He's the backup at KC.
If Chad Henne's on a roster.
He's the backup at KC.
Then I know
Anyway,
nothing about football.
Point being is Cam Newton had, what, 450 all-purpose yards last week? So, kind of crazy.
Moon Illusions, you were close. And, yeah, he is on the Chiefs. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Wow.
and I knew that, Jason. and you did not.
35-year-old Chad Henne.
Best backup of all time.
Better than Cody Kessler?
Quick release Kessler.
Quick release Kessler? I don't know about that, Joey. We got some guesses. Brett E says 12. Joanna said 17. Moon Illusions, 13 is close enough. Yeah, I mean.
The fact it's in double digits is insane.
When I was thinking non-starters, I wasn't thinking like Brett Hundley.
Exactly. Like
Yeah,
journeyman, like practice
Yeah.
squad, backup to first team. Yeah.
But I guess if I think about it, I mean, Cam is getting paid literally nothing.
Nothing. $1 million. Which is, I mean, life-changing for us, but nothing for them.
You don't make $1 million a year, Joey?
No.
You're on the wrong podcast then.
It's true.
Nate says Pats, Titans, Falcons, and Cowboys gave up 30, and the Jags have a bad defense after one game.
After one game.
Oh, I've given up 30.
I think we've played 2 games.
But we didn't give up 30 last
We
week.
gave up 20-ish.
Yeah, for sure.
Dude, we have a bad defense. Is that like in question?
I don't think the defense is bad. The defense is young. I think you're going to see a lot of these same guys that you're calling bad on a defense in 2021 that's considered good.
Oh, we're talking about now. I'm not talking about next year. I'm not saying these guys can't be good. I'm saying we have a bad defense this year.
I think I agree with some of the other comments that they've been saying. Give them some time to gel.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying we're going to lose on defense.
We're going to have to
keep beat.
Well, our offense is good. It's better than our defense.
Yes.
I mean, I think that's goes without saying. But you got to think. I mean, we lost Ronnie Harrison. Trey Herndon hasn't been playing well at all. You have TJ Henderson is in his second career game without a preseason. You got to give him just a little bit of time. Schobert and Jack are figuring things out. I thought Leon Jacobs played pretty well. You know, we'll see. We'll see. Joey, I'm glad that I thought of this because I do want to get your opinion on this. There's no secret that the injury bug has gone around, and we had talked about in the first segment about how the Jags are just lucky right now.
Fair.
Because we're usually the team that gets the injury bug. Do you think that not having preseason and not having like a full training camp caused some of these injuries, or do you think it's just kind of fluky?
Well, I mean, that's a great question, and your expertise is like way more valuable in this. But I mean, it's been kind of, I've thought about it. It's been kind of interesting because it's like usually we see like the soft tissue stuff, like hamstrings, quads, like stuff like that, backs maybe, like, or core, like muscle strains. Dude, we're seeing nothing but like joint injuries at this point. I mean, San Francisco, you got Bosa, knee. You got Garoppolo, ankle, like 3 other starters, knees. You have Saquon Barkley, ACL. You have Christian McCaffrey out for 3 to 4 weeks. And all of these are like joint related. I mean, whether they're cutting, whether it's somebody falling on them. I mean, my question is maybe they did their job in the offseason as far as like lifting weights and like running, staying in shape, but they didn't do the stretching stuff. They didn't do the stuff with the trainers and the physical therapy people in the hot tub and the like all that. I mean, that's kind of outside of my realm, but that kind of seems like what it is.
Do you remember when Coughlin? I'm asking. Do you remember? Like,
It's like
literally happened like months ago. Do you remember when Coughlin got a bunch of flack because he was fining players for not going to team physicians, team doctors, and team trainers?
I did.
I wonder if there's something about the players not being around the facility and the sports team doctors, because the Jags sports team doctors are like some of the best doctors in the Jacksonville area. And if you're from here, then you kind of know that.
Well, I mean, Jason, you played sports. I mean, I didn't play at the level of pro, but I played in college, and like I would not miss the weight room. I would not miss my 5-mile runs. I would not miss my, speed training. But I'm not stretching before and after that stuff. Yeah. I'm not going to the sauna, going to the hot tub. I'm not icing. Yeah. I'm not doing any of that on my own because I'm 21 years old and Superman. Yeah. So I absolutely think that has a huge impact. You have to have those people telling you, okay, yeah, you did all the stuff you're supposed to, that you're supposed to, but here's what you need to do to recover from that so you can do it again tomorrow.
I think that's a good point. And if you think about getting in the cold tub,
that sucks.
You're never going to do that unless the training staff is like, you guys need to get in the cold tub.
And then it's like a fight.
Yeah, and then you're like,
sucks.
Oh, yeah, exactly. So, I mean, it's interesting. And I've tried to wrap my brain around this because I'm a very statistic person. I love statistics. I don't know why. I've just naturally been drawn to probability and randomness. It's totally weird. I get it.
Numbers don't lie. That you can make them lie.
Right, exactly.
Like, numbers add up.
I'm the first one to be like, well, let's not draw correlation.
Well,
like correlation's not causation.
It's a small sample size.
Exactly. So, look, injuries happen, man. If you're a Jags fan, you're the first one to know that injuries happen, man. You cannot be a Jags fan and not even talk about. I mean, we know injuries more than anybody. Dante Fowler getting hurt in like his first practice.
Allen Robinson.
Yeah, it's like
Nick Foles.
Are you kidding me?
I mean,
yeah.
Come on.
So, at the same time, though, like this is a weird year, and I think the issue was that it was so many high-profile people.
Yeah.
Like you said, Saquon, McCaffrey, Garoppolo, Bosa, like guys that are like high-profile, and it's kind of like with the concussion thing, it was happening a lot, but then when high-profile people started getting like this CTE, then all of a sudden people were like, oh, maybe there's something to this, right? Yeah. And I think that's what's drawing attention to it.
But these guys are also not injury-prone. I mean, these aren't the guys that get hurt every year.
Yeah. And these are like weight room warriors, man. Like Bosa.
Like Bosa is like...
And McCaffrey.
They've run through this wall.
Yeah, exactly.
To do like a deadlift. I mean, so I just hope it doesn't continue, man, honestly, because we're just looking at some of the best young players in the game that are out for the year.
Yeah, I hate to see it.
Yeah.
Antonio McDomick says, y'all didn't answer the fight question.
We didn't, man. That's a tough call on offense because, I mean...
I have my answer, and I have it ready to go, and I was kind of on the fence about it when you first asked, and now I know. And the question was, on the Jaguars offense, who would you take in a fight to win like a death match or whatever the wording was? So, Joey, I want to hear yours before I answer mine.
I don't have one.
You have to, I mean...
Okay, go through the offensive line for me. Like
left tackle is Cam Robinson. You got Andrew Norwell.
Who filled in for Linder?
Shatley.
I'm going to go with Shatley. Because that guy looks like he would eat your children before he got, like, the second meal.
Honestly, T-Shat69, that's his nickname, was up there on my list. He was. I think probably 2 or 3.
I wouldn't want to meet him in Dark Alley.
That's my dad, says Bruce Miller. He's also on my list, top 3. But my number 1 offensive player that's winning in a fight is A.J. Cann. That dude is thick, and he is
been,
solid.
And he's been around for like ever.
And he is fighting for his job.
He's like, you can't cut me.
He is a fighter. You cannot get rid of this guy.
That's a good call.
Yeah, I mean.
Every year, he's like, you can't cut me.
Yeah,
They're like, all right, you're back on the team.
Yeah, every year you think A.J. Cann's like gone and done, and nope, here comes A.J. Cann, like bullying you. A.J. Cann is the winner. Zach Becker says Ben Barch. I like that. I give him some years. Christian Peregrine says Cam Robinson. Cam Robinson has a little bit of like a.
I think I could kick Cam in the knee and he'd fall down.
No, Cam has that. I don't want to say like the wrong word, but like he has that like edge to him that makes you think that like I wouldn't want to catch this guy in like a dark alley.
I mean, any of the trench guys, man. If they get a paw on you, you're done.
That's true. That's true. Moon Illusion says Eifert, which
wow.
I mean, on a golf course, yeah, I wouldn't want to.
Come on, man. We're not talking about a like disagreement at the country club over
about tipping the cart guy.
Fast enough. Yeah.
Tony McDominick says my answer was Tyler Shatley too. Yeah, Shatley's good too. Didn't you preach the front office didn't surround Minshew with enough receivers? Yes. Can I address the receivers thing? Because I'm getting a lot of flack for this. Okay. First of all, just so that you guys all know. My main point about the wide receivers was that D.D. Westbrook was trash and that he was being very overrated by people. I was not wrong about that, okay? I had no faith in D.D. Westbrook not being activated.
They're going to activate him on Thursday for punt returns. Just saying.
Laviska Shenault. I've been a huge Laviska Shenault fan, and I will still say this. His thing is, can he stay healthy? He's played 2 games. Let's see him stay healthy. I'm in no way betting against him, but let's see him stay healthy for an entire season. He plays a very aggressive style of football, which doesn't bode well for NFL players staying healthy.
It doesn't.
Is all I'm saying.
What about Chris Conley? You said he was garbage.
I don't like Chris Conley. Okay, he's the only guy. He's the only guy that I may have missed the mark on. But can I bring up Keelan Cole, who I've been the biggest Keelan Cole fan?
He has.
I have been the biggest Keelan Cole fan for years. When everyone's written off Keelan Cole, I'm sitting here going, don't give up on Keelan Cole quite yet.
I'd given up on Keelan Cole. He was absolute trash last year. Like as bad as a wide receiver could be. Amazed he didn't get cut, and the dude looks like a Pro Bowler.
So DJ Chark, I feel like is exceeding expectations, which we all knew.
He's a legit number one.
I would say Conley was the one I missed the mark on, and I'm not willing to cede the point that he's good yet. But I'm just saying, I'm not willing to say that yet.
He's in the right place at the right time.
He is, and he's
got
catching
a bunch
the
of young
ball.
guys. He's the one and he catches everything that's thrown to him. So
yeah, and he's not exactly.
Yeah,
I'm happy. Look, I'm happy to be wrong about the wide receivers.
We do have like so many threats.
We do, and I have been very excited about our receivers. And look, I'm not prideful. I'm not going to sit here and lie. I was not expecting our receiving core to be good because I didn't feel like the Jags brought enough talent around Minshew.
But in Jason's defense, honestly, when was the last time we had a consistently accurate quarterback that could get the ball off quickly? Burnell?
Yeah, exactly. And I think Minshew is the answer. I wasn't sold on Eifert because Eifert didn't show much. And C.J. Uzomah, another guy who's out for the year. Yeah. Great tight end in Cincinnati. I wasn't sold on him as a starting receiver or as a starting tight end because he wasn't a starting tight end in Cincinnati. But yeah, I mean, I will say Keelan Cole has surpassed my expectations. DJ Chark has surpassed my expectations. And so far, Laviska Shenault has surpassed. So I'm okay to admit it.
I don't defend you much, but I mean, honestly, it's not just that, dude. Our offensive line is actually blocking.
Yes.
Like Minshew is staying in the pocket when he wouldn't have before and getting plays off. I mean, we've got an offensive coordinator that you don't know what he's going to do. You don't know what he's going to do ever. I mean, almost. Like, it's not the same play over and over again. He's spreading the ball out amongst like everybody. It's a combination of things, but yeah, we've got some young, good talent at wide receiver.
I'm pumped.
Yeah.
Max Hardwick Brown says Clay Brooks as the nickel corner and DD returning kicks. I'm a little skeptic of Clay Brooks right now. I don't really want him around in football right now, and I'm willing to get over it eventually.
Can you explain to me why that is? Because I don't know who that is.
So he muffed a punt. And then he muffed a second punt that went out of bounds.
Dude, DD is phenomenal on punt returns when you don't care if he's going to get hurt because he's one of your starting three wide receivers.
There's more to the DD's thing than just he's not good enough. There's something else there.
He's been hurt forever.
There's something else there.
He had a neck injury last year.
I'm not a huge fan of Westbrook, but he's not so bad that he doesn't get
lineup.
activated.
I agree. Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
Nate, not giving you trouble for the take dead right about Dede. Nate, I appreciate you calling me out. I need people like you in my life to keep me balanced because I will get too arrogant about my takes if you don't. Christian Peregrine says, watch us get Jamar Chase, though. Yeah, that would be awesome. That would be amazing. The receiver from LSU. That'd be awesome.
I say at this point, take every LSU wide receiver you can possibly take forever.
Brent Papino, maybe it is the system and a better quarterback that makes the wide receivers
yeah, man,
better.
that absolutely helps.
Oh, okay, I like that. Moon Illusions, I like Surtain or Wade next year. I want Sean Wade straight because he's from Jacksonville, and I want a guy who played at Trinity Christian. Let's go. Matt G, how do you guys feel about the change from Fournette to James Robinson?
Everybody is fantastic about it.
I mean, Fournette had a good game in Tampa.
So what?
I
think
Fournette got a raw deal here.
He got a raw deal because he's I'm sorry, millennials, but he's a millennial punk. He's been given everything to him his entire life because he was better, faster, stronger than everybody. He had to work for it for one time, and as soon as you're not winning, you do everything you can to just be like just that guy, man. That guy that's like complaining about stuff that like you're trying to work hard at work and it's a hard day, like it's not going well, and he's over there making it worse because all you can do is hear him complaining. That's Fournette. And I can't stand that guy.
That was a good take there, Joey. I'll give you that.
All right.
You may have changed my mind.
I was thinking about somebody at work.
You may have changed my mind with that because you may have changed my mind. So the good job, Joey. I like that. Matt G, how do you guys? Oh yeah, we already read that one. Brent Papino, wide receivers are better because of Gruden in the game plan. I agree. Yeah. Brad Rorick, should the Jags bench Conley in favor of Westbrook later in the season?
No, I've been the biggest Dede fan like out of everybody. And my whole thing was that Dede like worked hard, like he was like a scrapper. Like when we had nobody doing that, we don't mess up what we have right now, man. Bring him back, let him return everything he can return. Maybe get him in there in some plays if somebody like is banged up or needs a breather. But outside of that, I think he should be on the squad. Like I think he should be getting plays as a returner. But no, we don't mess up what we got.
I know people like Colin Johnson, and I like Colin Johnson too, but.
Everybody loves him, though.
Yeah.
I don't see it.
I get it. I don't see it, but I get it. Would we get more value out of Westbrook? And I know they're not the same type of receiver, and I know that Colin Johnson's a big framed receiver.
But we have that guy.
And it actually kind of hurt us last week when he was trying to snatch everything out of the air that was going to James O'Shaughnessy. So it's
yeah.
Are we losing value by doing that? That would be my only question because it would seem like a no-brainer to have Dede playing over Colin Johnson.
Okay, I'll say this. If they don't activate Dede for punt returns for Thursday, then Jason's right. There's something else going on, whether it's health or whether it's off-the-field team stuff. That makes no sense otherwise.
Yeah, or he has some pictures on Jay Gruden. Apparently a lot of people do. Antonio McDomick, I still don't understand why we got rid of Ronnie Harrison.
Ronnie Harrison's
I think
slow.
he was just the same who Joey was talking about with Fournette. Just
he
that
part,
dude.
That's part of that group, man.
Yeah, just talking jib jab in the locker room, and
he wasn't that good.
Yeah.
He wasn't that guy that could afford to do that.
Yeah, I agree. Zach Becker said Fournette had a good game against the Panthers, though. I think the Titans have a better run D than the Panthers. Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Moon Illusions. This should be an interesting game on Thursday. The Dolphins are kind of underrated.
So, with that being said, nobody's brought it up and nobody's said it. There's no way they roll old man Fitz Magic out there on Thursday night. Do you think? This has to be.
I think
this
they
absolutely
do.
has to be Tua's coming out party.
I mean, this would be a great time to do it.
Because you're gonna have a lot of Miami fans. It's a Florida game.
It would be a great time to do it.
It's the ideal time.
Yeah, it really would. But I don't think that it happens.
Really?
They lost to the Bills in dramatic fashion
against our defense. You don't think they roll them out?
I mean, Fitzpatrick didn't have a bad game.
Oh, he's
31 for 47, 328, and 2 touchdowns.
And how many picks?
0.
How many have the first game? The first game was awful, though. And Bills have a good
Buff-
defense.
yeah,
I don't
Bills
know,
have a
man.
good
But
defense.
that's Fitzpatrick, though. I mean, that's
Gesicki is a. I mean,
dude, that guy went off.
he went off, and the Jags don't cover tight ends well. We saw
That's what I'm
with
saying.
John.
So why not bring Tua out and have him have a coming out party? I don't think they're going to announce it until when's the deadline? Is it Wednesday, Tuesday?
Yeah, something like
This is
that.
going to be last minute, or they might. I mean, I don't know. I expect to see Tua in the game. Is my call for the game, and that's unknown.
Here's another fun fact for you: the Dolphins' second leading receiver last week, Isaiah Ford
From Jacksonville.
from Jacksonville,
Was it
Florida.
Trinity Christian?
Yeah.
Look at that, man.
So another Trinity Christian.
He actually went off. He had like,
Player.
what, 8 for 100?
Yeah, he had a great game. Fun fact: school I work at playing Trinity Christian this week in volleyball.
And we're going to dominate.
There we go.
And I'm
There we
including
go.
myself in that BCS.
The volleyball team.
Volleyball team's going to smack them.
Max Hardwick Brown says Fitzception or Fitz Magic. Roll the dice each night he starts.
I love the guy, dude. Like, he's like my favorite backup quarterback of all time. I mean, he's made like $1 bajillion wearing V-neck blazers and going out and throwing, like you said, 500 yards
He
and
went
5
to Harvard,
touchdowns.
bro. You got to give him credit for going
Dude,
to
the
Harvard.
guy's like nailed it. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the best job
Yeah.
in football. He has no pressure on him whatsoever, ever.
Yeah. But yeah. Journeyman, says Moon Illusions.
Yeah.
Christian Pereguine, and I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong, Christian. If you phonetically spell it out, I'll try to
How
get
about
it
you
right.
go Christian P so you don't have to worry about it?
KP. I like KP.
There you go.
He said Ronnie Harrison stinks. I agree.
He wasn't.
He was okay.
He was average.
He was young. He's like 24.
Yeah.
Moon Illusion says Tua won't start. Yeah. I wish he would, though.
If Tua doesn't start, then he's way more hurt than anybody said he was. There's no reason whatsoever for him not to be playing at this point.
I'm glad Matt G brought this up because we talked about wanting to talk about this, and we haven't yet,
Oh,
even though we've been on for
we missed
69
something.
minutes.
Something fell through the
Yes,
cracks.
it did. And I thank you, Matt G, and I want to get you guys' thoughts on this.
I'm excited.
in
I
the
don't know what it
chats.
is.
Taking safety Kid Rock looked terrible last week. Get healthy soon, Gerard Wilson. Did Andrew Wingard do enough to buy himself another week of starting?
We don't have any choice.
We talking about it. You can put Clay Brooks back there if you really want.
he's gonna
Put D.D. Westbrook back there. How much worse? I mean, look, Wingard was supposed to be this like all-star tackler, like Wyoming leading all-time tackler.
I'll say this.
I'm here for it.
I'll say this. Kid Rock's got to cut the hair off if he doesn't play better than he did. Like, you can't have hair like that and play like that. That's like wearing like white cleats, man. If you wear white cleats, you better ball out.
Here's what's embarrassing is he's given himself a nickname, but then like everyone else, like Dewey, right? And Dewey's a cool nickname or whatever. But
Really?
everyone else calls him Kid Rock. So it's like
I really thought his real name was Dewey.
so you've tried to like create your own
Yeah, you
nickname,
can't do
but then
that.
like everyone else calls you like a white trash nickname. That's not a good look, man.
I mean, the thing about it is like,
If people called us the Kid Rock of Jags podcasts,
Actually-
how would you take that?
I'm a huge fan of Kid Rock. Kid Rock is,
I'm sorry. I take it all back then. Never mind.
look at me right now, man. I look like Larry the Cable Guy. I think Kid Rock is fantastic. But
Okay.
I think
Well, never
he
mind.
was in a bad position. Titans took
Yeah, I would say so. And on a couple
lot of
plays,
them.
he was in
Yeah,
bad position.
Bad choice of words. My point is the Titans game plan against him being in there, knew that he was new in the position, took advantage of it. He was in the right place at the right time most of the time. But, I mean, Tannehill would have lit up anybody we had. I don't care who was in there. That guy was throwing lasers,
Yeah, that's true.
which is crazy to say about Tannehill because I think the contract they gave him was ridiculous. But after watching that game, I'm like, man, that guy can freaking throw the ball.
Yeah, he can. And, I mean, you're preaching to the choir here. I've been on Tannehill.
As long as he is not hurt, like, that guy can throw the ball.
Yeah. I've been on Tannehill since the beginning, man. And if you've been a fan of our podcast since the early days, then you know that.
That's true. It's Tannehill and Cody Kessler. Man.
And I'm talking.
That's the two guys.
You know, if you just support every quarterback, eventually one of them is going to be good. It's actually a really good strategy. You know, you
Yeah.
just back everybody.
I tried that with Bortles. That didn't work out so well for me.
That's true. That was the downfall there.
But he would not have slid like Minshew did after 2 yards.
Predator, what's up, Predator? He says, "Go
Ooh.
Jags, baby!" Just joined. Have you guys discussed if you think we may make a wild card spot this year? I think we will.
We have not discussed that. So
I
that's
think
a
we
great
will.
question at this point. And I think there is a legitimate chance for it. I mean, honestly.
I think we will.
I do too. I think we will be in contention for a wild card spot.
Like this sounds weird, and I've never been in this position as an NFL fan. And maybe you guys can like explain it to me in the chat. Like the Jags team like didn't look that good on paper, and I was like, this team's not very good. But then when I watched other NFL games, I was like, no one else is as good as I thought they were going to be either.
Look at Tampa the first game.
Everyone's watered down.
Yeah.
So it's like this team that I thought was not good is actually like average in the NFL. And then you factor in all these injuries for these high-profile players. And now this offense that can score 30 a game might be a team that can win the wild card, and that's why I think they will.
Look at our division, man. Like, we already beat Tennessee.
Yeah.
We almost beat the Titans.
Well, we beat the Colts. And then we
beat the Colts. We almost beat the Titans. Houston has not looked that good at all.
Oh, they have played like the Ravens and the Chiefs. So two best teams in the league. But yeah, I get it.
But they're supposed to be a contender as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's like I kind of mirror us with like Miami last year with better players.
Okay.
Because Miami like balled out with young guys wanting to prove themselves, just playing because they're football players, and we have better talent than that, way better talent than that. So it's like, dude, we absolutely have a chance at the wild card, which is crazy to say.
Dolphins have a better coach, though. I mean, I'll say it.
Yeah.
I like their coach.
I agree.
Brett E. says, do you think we should sign a safety? I think we should. I don't think we will.
You don't think we will? I think at this point we've got to bring somebody in.
No.
I don't think it'll be somebody we want.
Yeah, Daniel Thomas. Moon Illusions, Daniel Thomas. We're not trying to win this year. And I know the players are trying to win this year.
Well, no, let me rephrase that. We're not trying to spend money to win this year.
Exactly. That's exactly what I meant. That's my dad said. Joey looks like he's a huge fan of Kid Rock.
I love Kid Rock, dude. How can you not love Kid Rock? Okay, dude, Kid Rock plays concerts in Detroit and like lowers the price of beer to $5 a beer during the concerts just so people can afford it that are like blue collar. Kid Rock has like one of the best like rapcore albums of all time. Kid Rock does Kid Rock's the man.
As a person?
No, not as a person.
I'm sure Kid Rock is awesome.
No,
as a
musician,
entertainer,
dude,
pass.
I could bring up like radio release songs of his that would blow your mind.
I'd rather listen to Lil Baby.
What about Joe Dirt, man? His cameo in Joe Dirt.
That's
phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Moon Illusion says Joey's nickname is K Kona.
All right, I'll take that.
I don't
know what that means. But
I don't get it. I mean, you were drinking Konas earlier, which is throwing me off. How does Moon know that?
I don't think I've ever drank a Kona in my life.
Maybe I'm confusing it with someone else.
Kona coffee?
You didn't have.
I don't even drink coffee.
You didn't have a Kona?
No, those were Sierra Nevadas.
Sierra Nevadas. They're the same thing, aren't they?
No.
Astro Surf says 7 playoff spots this year.
That helps us.
It does. Antonio McDomick says we can't go anywhere with this defensive line. They don't look great. Josh Allen looks good. Chazon looks good. Taven looks trash. Jernigan
How does Josh Allen look good?
Because he's the only one that's getting pressures or sacks.
He doesn't have he's one sack in 2 games.
Yeah, but he's got a lot of pressures. I mean, a lot of big. I mean, Josh Allen's good.
I think you're.
We can't even go down this rabbit hole. I mean,
we can't because I think your blinders are on for our defensive line.
No.
Dude, we've basically done nothing in 2 games.
We're only blitzing 4 people. We're just literally never blitzing.
Okay.
If we
can't
give
blitz.
us some time. Give us some time.
All right,
I honestly I can't even go down that path right now.
Right,
Josh Allen's good.
Jason's going to do a 30-minute
Josh
solo.
Allen is good. I'm telling you.
I'm not saying he's not good.
No,
man.
And he's been good this year.
I'm not saying he's not good.
He's getting double teamed and he's still getting pressures.
Okay, I'm not saying he's not doing the best that he can this year. I'm saying our secondary is so bad that we can't take advantage of the guys that are good on the D line, and that's not going to change.
The only time the quarterbacks are like getting hit and going to the ground is when Josh Allen is doing it.
Sure.
That's the only time.
And that's as they threw like a 37-yard bomb to somebody that's wide open.
Tannehill made an impressive throw as he was getting slammed to the ground by Josh Allen.
6-7 seconds after they snapped the ball.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. Matt G, what uniform color combo would you like to see on there? Thank you for asking me my color combo because I'm in the minority here and I'm okay because unlike my receiver opinion, I don't get offended if you attack me here. My favorite uniform combo, white on white. I just think that looks so clean on any team.
That looks tight as heck. I like black on white, but that looks tight.
Oh God, it's cyclical if you think about it. Like if you
all black.
If you watched football for any amount of time, you remember the early 2000s. It was all about all black. The Ravens were wearing all black. The Raiders, even the Jags.
I just think our teal is garbage, dude. I'll say it out loud. That's the worst color in pro football.
Which ones?
The teal. It's lame, dude. Why not?
Our teal now is not so
It's
hot,
better.
the old teal
No,
from like
dude,
the 90s.
It's been
was-
garbage since the get-go. Well, like, why not be like salmon, like a coral? I mean, like,
I don't know where
what's
you're
more
going.
what's more aggressive than teal? So intimidating.
Okay, I liked our old teal though. If you look, no teal jerseys on the wall, but if
Yeah.
you look back, the old teals were amazing.
We better like straight up pink.
White on white looks
Chartreuse.
clean. White on white is just clean.
White
I
on white
like
looks-
it. I like it on everybody.
I agree.
And look, like I said, black on black, early 2000s. The highlight neon was the late 2010s when Oregon and everyone was wearing that like highlighter yellow,
What about that color rush puke?
color rush gold. White on white is clean.
It looks good.
Okay, it is clean.
And then you can tell who's tackling and who's not.
That's my dad says he doesn't like the white on whites. That's okay. We can agree
Oh.
to disagree. Predator says in the Miami, Cincinnati, and Texans game, they better show up like they should. Yeah, you're right.
We need to win 2 out of 3
I
of
think the
those.
Texans are better than people think, though. And
Of course they are.
Yeah, they are. That's my dad again. Says black tops, teal pants. Those are okay.
That's-
Look, it's all personal preference. But if you don't like white on white, then you're just wrong. Shane Watson says, I want to still thank New York for Josh Allen. Yeah, and so, I have this group chat with a couple of Jags fans that like to point out my errors and predictions.
Dude, we were awful on that. That's like probably the worst thing we've done in our recording history. I mean, but it was such a shock, dude. We wanted offense.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that was the worst call ever.
But
and I'll own up to that. I was the same way.
I was huge on Isaiah Simmons.
Yeah.
And I still am, but
He hasn't
wow.
played as well as we thought.
No. He has not. And I think that he will adjust to the NFL speed.
I agree.
But I thought Isaiah Simmons would be a guy. And look, I can admit when I'm wrong. I'm not one of these arrogant guys.
It was just a shocker that
I
he was
thought
there.
Isaiah Simmons was going to be really good.
Honestly, I hadn't even researched Josh Allen at all because everything said he was not going to be there
Yeah.
when we got him. So when we got him, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was bad.
But he's a beast.
He is a beast.
Moon Illusion says, how are the Raiders winning? I don't know. I don't want to check my team because I need Emmanuel Sanders to get one freaking point.
Can
And
somebody,
he still hasn't. He still hasn't had a single catch in the entire game, and he's playing.
I think Drew Brees might be done.
You can't throw the ball to Emmanuel Sanders one freaking.
Dude, he's
they
tried-
did. He dropped the
the-
ball.
the-
Yeah, you're right. He
Yeah.
did.
The few plays that we've seen is like Drew Brees is all over the place. But
Oh, all right. We're up to 80 minutes. We're not going to get much out of our podcast listeners beyond 80 minutes. We appreciate you guys in the chat. Is there anything else you want to add, Joey? I mean, this is it, I think.
I think let's finish with what do we think's happening on Thursday night?
Okay.
What's your
that's
call?
Good. For me, I think the Jags win, but I think it's really close.
Really?
Yeah. And I think the offense shows up, but not quite in the way they did last week. I think they score about 25, 28 area. And I think the Dolphins, we give up a lot of points to them. And I think it's like a 1 to 3 point game. I think we beat the Dolphins by 1 point. So I predicted 27-28.
I was going to say 28-14. Jags.
Man.
Just for clarification.
Man, yeah, I mean, we have some Moon Illusion says 27-21. Brent Papano says 28-27.
I think we've proven anything at this point. We're hanging our hat on the fact that Jags can score points. The only other team in the league at this point that scored more than us per game is who? That's who you think it is.
The Bengals.
Really?
I'm just kidding. No, that's a joke. I don't know.
Kansas City.
Kansas City. Okay.
Jags are second.
Well, I mean, I hope so. But this defense just concerns me. I think, like the comments are saying, Gesicki, Fitzpatrick.
Dude, we have all kinds of issues and holes, but we've had those the first 2 games, man. We're playing a team that is not good. At home,
They're good.
on a Thursday night, the Miami Dolphins are not good, dude.
AstroSurf says the Packers have scored 40 points in both games.
Oh,
He says
might
so
be off on that.
screw you, Joey.
I did look at that stat before the Packers finished last night, so I did get called out.
Antonio McDomick says, "Don't go. I'm now have to talk to my girl." I feel that, Antonio. I feel
What
that.
did he say?
He says, "Don't go. You have to. I'm gonna talk to my girl now."
Ooh, we can just pretend it's not over and start over again.
I do that all the time.
Yeah, there
The
you
old
go.
pretend game. Matt G, predict Minshew's stat line against the fence. Well, might as well.
That's a good one.
Yeah, go for it, Joey.
I'm gonna say 315, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, 30 yards on the ground.
I'm gonna say 20 for 30, 299 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Book it.
I like it.
Book it. With that, I think that's a wrap for us. Thank you guys so much for being in the chat on the live show. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast, if that's how you're doing it. I do want to implore you, though, if you're listening to the podcast on the Big Cat Country feed, that you watch our YouTube shows. They're way better. You can fast forward through the commercials, and you get to see Joey in his tank tops all season.
Kept it going.
If that's not worth it,
we're tanking for Tampa, man.
You don't know value. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate you guys in the chat. Dude, we love it with you guys. We would do this every night if we could. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Give us all the support, thumbs up, all that stuff. And as always, go Jags.